Welcome. Now, we're going to look at the DISA STIG's further details, and this is the third in the series where we're looking at the DISA control structure and how it's built up and what is the content, the STIG viewer, the checklist, and different categories in the control sections. So let's take an actual example, and let's look at the Windows Server 2012 R2 member server STIG. And we had already looked at this in the CIS. So this will be very interesting. And we're going to look at a comparison between the CIS and DISA and even the same control. And this is for lockout duration. We had looked at lockout duration in the previous CIS module. And let's look at how the DISA lays out this control. A look at a snapshot view of the STIG viewer window. And it shows that we have selected the Windows Server 2012 R2 member server security technical implementation guide on the top left. I'm not sure if you can see this clearly, but you can select or check off one particular STIG, and that's what we've selected. And then vulnerability ID, the blue bar, is vulnerability 1099. Now, this is a bit of a more zoom in into the STIG viewer, and we can see that it shows you the general information window, and then it shows you the discussion window, the check content, and the fixed text windows. And this is for vulnerability ID 1099, which is called the lockout duration. And I would like to add here that you probably can't see this clearly, but by now on your workstation, you should have already downloaded the STIG viewer and created a checklist, and you should import this particular STIG, and after viewing this video, and take an actual look at the structure of the STIG viewer and the controls. So here's the rule title. And this gives, it tells you what the actual rule is. So it says the lockout duration must be configured to require an administrator to unlock an account. So it's asking you to set the duration of the lockout whenever a lockout happens. This particular rule is not for the lockout, for enabling a lockout. It's for setting the lockout duration. And the severity is Cat 2. So it's not a Category 1. It's not a Category 3, it's a Cat 2, which is in the middle. Now, this is the discussion, and this is the reasoning which is behind this. It says the account lockout feature, when enabled, which is a separate control, prevents brute force password attacks on the system. This parameter specifies the period of time that an account will remain locked after the specified number of failed logon attempts. A value of 0 will require an administrator to unlock the account. So here, now we look at the check content field, and it says, verify the effective setting in local group policy editor, run gpedit.msc. So as we can see in this control, it's giving us the guideline now how to check it and what to do and where to go. But what it's actually telling us is that if for the lockout feature, if the password is attempted several times, then the account locks out. Now, if you set the account lockout time, then it'll wait for a certain amount of time and then it'll become unlocked. But if you set it to 0, then the administrator will have to go and do the account unlock. And the administrator will have to do it himself. So you go to this as area, you go to navigate to the computer policy, then to the computer configuration, go to the Windows settings, go to security settings, go to account policies, and then go to account lockout policy. So it tells you exactly where to go in the check content. And in check content is continuing, it says if the account lockout duration is not set to 0, requiring an administrator to unlock the account, this is a finding. Okay? So it's telling you that what you should be doing here. And to fix text, it says, configure the policy value for computer, go to configuration, Windows settings, security settings, account policies, account lockout policy, and account lockout duration to 0 minutes. So this is what it should be set to. Account is locked out until administrator unlocks it. So here in this particular control, it's actually asking you to set the value to 0 so that if the account is locked out, then the administrator will have to unlock it. And the CCI reference is given as NIST SP 853, revision 4. And NIST 853 is actually a very good document which gives a lot of controls, and the cross-reference is given here. Thank you.